We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. First the Fat Boys breakup. Now every day I wake up, somebody got a problem with Nello. What's up, you niggas all fed up cause I got a little cheddar in my records moving out the store? First the Fat Boys breakup. Now every day I wake up, Canelo suing DAZN, Golden Boy, and his promoter, Oscar De La Hoya. Oh man, we gonna talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button for the latest and greatest in boxing. Man, oh man, it keeps going from sugar to shh. Canelo Alvarez is suing his longtime promoter, Oscar De La Hoya. He's suing his new platform, DAZN. He's claiming breach of contract. I will put in the description the link. Is being reported by everyone. I've already made a video about it, but I'll link in the description. There's a couple more pickups in this new ESPN article because of an interview they did with the Golden Boy, basically lawyer, spokesperson. So with my trusted assistant, Money Penny, we're going to get through this, and I'm going to add on, give you guys some of my thoughts. Make sure you guys smash the like button, but it looks like there's trouble ahead and trouble in paradise. Now, my trusted assistant, Money Penny.
Suit versus Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, DAZN over record deal. Canelo Alvarez filed a lawsuit Tuesday in federal court against DAZN and Golden Boy Promotions and its CEO, Oscar De La Hoya, alleging that the parties have not lived up to the terms of an 11-fight, $365 million deal that was agreed upon in 2018. Alvarez is seeking at least $280 million in damages, according to the lawsuit.
According to the lawsuit, he is seeking, you guys see it, this is big. According to the lawsuit, he's seeking $280 million at least. So that could be upwards of $300 million, you know, unless they settle out of court, but wow.
Alvarez is seeking at least $280 million in damages, according to the lawsuit, which was filed in the U.S. District Court for the Central District of California. This lawsuit arises from the breach of the single largest contract in this history of boxing, and one of the largest in all of sport. The complaint states, Alvarez last fought in November 2019, when he stopped WBO like talks resumed between Alvarez, DAZN and Golden Boy. There was a disagreement over whom Alvarez would face and for how much. The suit states, after extended discussions between the parties, DAZN offered to pay Alvarez and Golden Boy Promotions a fraction of the contracted $40 million.
They offered to pay him a fraction of the contracted $40 million. See that? A fraction. So he's owed $40 million per fight. Presumably 35 for him and the 5 for his opponent.
License fee and cash and some days in stock in advance of a potential IPO.
Now, it says Golden Boy, they offered him a portion of the money, you know. They offered him a portion of his contracted $40 million license fee in cash and some DAZN stock in advance of a potential IPO. So basically, they try to give him DAZN bucks. You know what I mean? You ever go to a Lowe's and you return, let's say, a ceiling fan? It's $99 plus tax. That's $106, right? And the box, you never opened it up, but you do not have the receipt. So the store might accept, the management might accept that you're returning the ceiling fan that's never been opened. It's a product that they still sell, so they'll return it for you. But since you don't have the receipt, they'll offer you store credit. That's what they were offering Canelo, DAZN bucks or equity, similar to the pact that they have with Triple G, where he gets equity in the in the company or something, some kind of DAZN bucks, 40 million license fee, a fraction of that, and some DAZN stock in advance. But the troubling part is anybody with the brain knows that DAZN's stock wasn't the highest, since they came to this American takeover, as Eddie Hearn puts it. It hasn't looked like a successful endeavor. So why would Canelo want that as opposed to cash in hand? This is looking messy.
However, the entire value of the package for a bout against another world champion was substantially less than Alvarez's contractual guarantee.
So all the things, options weighed, like with the DAZN bucks and part of your cash agreement, it was still a lot less than what they actually owe him. So Canelo's like, why would I take that?
It continued. Given that DAZN had made it clear that it would not honor its contract throughout the spring and summer of 2020, Alvarez repeatedly asked Golden Boy Promotions to explore alternative broadcast options for a full 2020 bout.
So that says because they weren't going to honor the contract, Canelo told Golden Boy, then take me somewhere else. It says Alvarez repeatedly asked Golden Boy to explore alternative broadcast options for his fall fight. Although Golden Boy reported that it was talking to various broadcasters, it failed to put forth a single alternative plan by which it would pay Alvarez $35 million that they had promised him for each of his fights. Wow.
Although Golden Boy Promotions reported that it was talking to various broadcasters, the suit alleges that Golden Boy Promotions failed to live up to its fiduciary duty to the Mexican star and that Alvarez has suffered harm and damages, including, but not limited to, the denied guaranteed payments, lost gate revenue, and opportunities for ancillary revenue associated with bouts, such as sponsorships and apparel revenue. For the time being, Alvarez, who has fought 3 of the 11 fights under his deal, has no fight scheduled.
None.
I'm the pound-for-pound #1 in the world. I'm not scared of any opponent in the ring. And I'm not going to let failures of my broadcaster or promoters keep me out of the ring, he said in a statement on Tuesday. I filed the lawsuit so I can get back to boxing and give my fans the show they deserve. Stefan Friedman, a spokesperson for Golden Boy, said in a statement that Canelo's beef is with DAZN. They're the ones refusing to honor the contract by not...
Now, this is a Golden Boy spokesperson. They said Canelo's beef is with DAZN. They're the ones refusing. But that's cap, because if you look at the actual title of this article, and I actually have obtained a copy of the lawsuit, Canelo files suit versus Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, who's the founder and CEO and formerly known as the Golden Boy in his career, Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and DAZN. So he's suing all of them. So how is this Golden Boy representative, Stefan Friedman, saying that Canelo's beef was with DAZN? Obviously, his beef is deeper than just DAZN, because he wouldn't have included you guys being Golden Boy and Oscar, in the lawsuit. If he just had a bone to pick with DAZN, that's who we would be suing. But obviously, he feels that Golden Boy is somehow complicit, henceforth why they're on the actual lawsuit. So let's clear that cap up, because there's some cap there.
They're the ones refusing to honor the contract by not approving the outstanding opponents we have presented to them and by refusing to pay the contractually required amount, Friedman said. Even though our contract specifically gives Golden Boy the right to wait until the pandemic is over and fans can return, in the best interest of boxing, Golden Boy is doing everything it can to make great fights happen. We remain ready, willing and able to make a fight for Canelo as soon as possible. Friedman.
So that's basically damage control, them just saying, hey, we're still trying to work this out and, get Canelo a fight and all that.
Added, contrary to the complaint, Golden Boy has an equal approved right over Canelo's opponents. Nobody from Golden Boy ever promised anyone that Canelo would fight any specified opponent. We simply agreed to put on the kind of premier, history-making fights we worked on together in 2019. End
quote. Thank you, Money Penny. Now, this is just a mess. Now it's turning into a blame game. It's going to be, a judge basically mediating a bunch of grown men, grown adults, arguing and seeing who breached what. But that was cap from Golden Boy, the spokesperson, saying the beef is just with DAZN. Why would you be included in the in the lawsuit? You know, why would Oscar's name be on the lawsuit? I have the paperwork, right? The other thing, it says Golden Boy never promised anyone that Canelo would fight any specified opponent. We simply agreed to put on the kind of premier history-making fights we worked together on in 2019. But pump your brakes, listen to this. So it's a he said, she said game right now. And we're going to see what's in that paperwork, like you do when these things happen, and you need someone else to mediate what's going on. And certain things are admissible in court and you have to produce and show. So it's going to get nasty. It's a very public breakup. But listen, it says we never specified that Canelo would fight any opponent, because I'm not a lawyer. I ain't passed the ball, but I know a little bit. But there's certain things you can't do that would actually break the Ali Act, which was in place to protect fighters, right? Like sign this fight deal contingent on you must fight X, Y, and Z. There's certain things you can't do like that. You know, just say, oh, we're mandating, we're not going to pay you unless you fight this person. You know what I'm saying? Just certain things you can't do. And if you do them, you'll be in violation of the Ali Act. It says we simply agreed to put on the kind of premier history making fights that we worked together on in 2019. But herein lies the problem. And make sure you guys come back to my channel. I will be covering this intently. This is very, groundbreaking stuff in the boxing game. And this is going to set a precedence depending on the outcome of this particular case. But the bad side is this: new media. We all over the case. A lot of this stuff has paper trails. So the Golden Boy spokesperson, aka lawyer, is telling ESPN we didn't agree to a specified fighter. We only agreed on putting on the kind of premier history making events that we worked together on in 2019. The bad side is that Canelo fought in 2019 Danny Jacobs, right? And he fought against Sergey Kovalev. Now, if you go to The Athletic, and I've talked about this in my videos, The Athletic has sources and sourced out that DAZN is considering none of Canelo's opponents basically meeting their criteria of a premier opponent, which is kind of laughable, especially when you see the opponent selection that they want him to fight. But Golden Boy's lawyer is telling ESPN we only agreed to make the history-making fights with Canelo that we worked on in 2019, the premier history-making fights. But guess what? DAZN is claiming that none of his fights from 2019 are worthy of the premier tag. So this is going to get ugly. Like I said, it's going to be he said, she said. It's going to be a lot of how things are, like the language it's written in, and what is this, define what a premier opponent is. You see what I'm saying? Because DAZN, it's like everybody pointing the finger at each other. Like, who did it? He did it. He did it. She did it. Everyone's pointing the finger. Canelo's saying Oscar, Golden Boy, and DAZN didn't get my deal right. They didn't provide me with an opportunity to continue fighting. They're breaching my contract. Then you have DAZN saying Canelo breached his contract by not fighting the type of, he was supposed to give us 2 fights a year, one being a premier foe, whatever they deemed was a premier foe. But you have reports that said DAZN wasn't good with the 2 people that Canelo fought in 2019. Now you have Golden Boy, their spokesperson Friedman, saying that, oh, we just agreed to the kind of premier history making events that we worked on together. So obviously there's some confusion and collusion there, because DAZN's saying you never gave him the quality that you promised. Canelo's saying that DAZN didn't pay him and refuses to pay him off of the quality. And Golden Boy saying, hey, we want to work on similar types of fights that we delivered. But Golden Boy is not realizing that DAZN is saying these fights don't count as premier options. This is just a mess, bro. I predicted this. Ego Stradamus strikes again. Canelo, he might be out for a little while. I don't know how long this will take. But another point to think about is if Canelo, they were talking about he could fight for the WBC belt. They're saying that Yildirim and Showtime were interested in that particular fight. If Canelo goes over to PBC and Showtime, just zip up Golden Boy and DAZN USA. Just zip them up, because you have what old media called the face of boxing in Canelo Alvarez. And if he can get an injunction or some type of judge to step in and say, hey, why Canelo's doing these deeper legal proceedings, he hasn't been able to make a living or get fulfilled what he's owed. So grant him the access to fight on Showtime against Yildirim or whatever fight in the interim while we figure this out. Because in America, you do have the right to make a living. You know what I'm saying? Canelo, even though he has millions and stuff like that, he has a certain lifestyle. You can't just hold him hostage. He's claiming breach of contract, right? So all that stuff is going to take time to prove either way, whether he's in the right or Golden Boy's in the right DAZN. That's going to take time. So what are you going to hold Canelo hostage and not allow him to make money? A judge might grant him an injunction. A similar situation would be when Chavez Jr., Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. ducked the drug test. He ducked the drug test with VADA, got banned from being able to fight until that was cleared up in Nevada and also in California. So Eddie Hearns, also with DAZN, said, you know what? Screw California Commission, screw Nevada Commission. We'll just take Chavez Jr. to another West Coast commission, Arizona, and he'll fight Danny Jacobs in another commission. So Nevada was trying to block Chavez Jr., saying, hey, you got to honor it. Like, you're supposed to back the other commissions. You're supposed to honor this. So they were trying to get it so Chavez Jr. couldn't fight. So it set a precedence that Chavez Jr. or Eddie Hearns or whatever couldn't just go outside of the rules and not face the music and then just take it somewhere else to another state. But a judge granted an injunction allowing, while this stuff was, going on in the background, basically allowing Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. to still have the Danny Jacobs fight and make a living and then deal with the rest of the stuff later. And now, fast forward to the future, he's dealing with that. That's why he's fighting in Mexico, because he's suspended indefinitely out here in America for not doing the drug test. So it's just an ugly situation. Again, if Canelo Alvarez I'm sure he has good legal team, because the amount of money he has, and that allows you and affords you the opportunity. And if he gets granted like a temporary release where he could do a one-off with PBC, that's going to kill Golden Boy. Because Golden Boy, you have to look at it. We've been in a pandemic. Their biggest star, DAZN's biggest star, probably won't fight for their network, with only a couple months left in the year, and he's suing you. So that's pretty much a wrap. He's not going to fight for your network. Plus, if he goes somewhere else and does a one-off because a judge grants him some type of injunction or temporary, ability to maybe get the WBC Yildirim fight on Showtime. We know Al Heyman and Showtime and PBC and Steven Espinoza would love to have Canelo back. So there's already an established relationship there. I mean, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, bro. So I don't know if they'll settle out of court. I don't know if this makes it all the way to court, but they should have just kept this man happy or provided him realistic numbers that they could be satisfied with paying him, no matter what, pandemic or not. It sounds like DAZN basically has buyer's remorse and Canelo's not working out. So they try to skim and go against what they said on the contract and pay him less. This is just a mess, people. Now, John Aaron, he also posted this. So the same day Canelo is suing, which is obviously the big hit for DAZN, he's suing Golden Boy, suing DAZN, suing Oscar De La Hoya. John Aaron says layoffs hit DAZN today, said to number in the dozens. So dozens of employers, no job, layoff, or 2% of his global staff. Most of the cuts came in the United States and Brazil. DAZN is shifting focus to its coming global service, which translates to fewer employees in New York and Brazil. More tomorrow with the Sports Journal or whatever, Morning Buzz. Bro, these are massive hits for DAZN all in one day. You had to fire people and lay off people, Canelo suing you, and basically trying to get it, most likely an injunction or release from his contract so he doesn't have to work with you again. He doesn't have to work with Golden Boy again. He might even get a temporary situational thing. And all this over not paying him what you said you were going to pay him and not agreeing on the actual, I don't know. I don't even know what they thought would be the outcome. If you promise someone X, Y, and Z, and then you can't pay them anymore, then you kind of stuck with the bill. It's like going to Denny's and eating a ton of food, you and your friends, but you know you don't have enough money to pay. You better wash dishes or something. You got to pay this man. They were bragging. Eddie Hearn was, oh yeah, we got $1 billion war chest where this is the richest contract. DAZN's just throwing money. That's what Eddie Hearn was saying. So what happened? Throw the money at Canelo. Now all of a sudden the money in the well done dried up. This is just a horrible look, people. Horrible look. I don't know how long it'll take to, complete and get a resolution, but I can't see this ending well for some people. Some people at the end of this might be bankrupt. Some people, it's just going to be ugly. The other issue is this, and I'm, again, keep it locked on my channel because I have so many different thoughts, and I'm going to have to piece this in smaller pieces because I don't want to feed y'all with too much information. Another issue is on the back of Golden Boy signing Canelo and taking him over to DAZN, Golden Boy was able to finagle some type of little deal so Golden Boy fighters can also fight on the DAZN platform off of Canelo's name. DAZN really wanted, when HBO said we're out of the boxing business, they wanted Canelo. They wanted Golovkin, fights like that. But they took Golden Boy and gave them a little side deal, which also I think offended Canelo because he didn't know in real time until much later that Golden Boy did this side deal, right? So they have, let's say, 5 to 10 fights that they're supposed to put on Golden Boy DAZN, outside of, like, regardless of Canelo's deal, his 2 fights, Golden Boy has a couple dates like Virgil Ortiz's and Ryan Garcia, etc., right? Marlon Esparza. But now sources are suggesting that the Golden Boy dates were contingent to be worked around Canelo's dates. So I don't know how that's going to work. Because if Canelo's suing you, then there's obviously going to be some friction there. And DAZN's probably looking at it as like, Golden Boy didn't provide with their fighter Canelo what they claimed they would in 2018. So this might stall out all Golden Boy cards. Henceforth, why we haven't heard a Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell announcement as of the recording of this video. They've said the fight has been done for months, probably 2 months, right? At the 4th of July, they were already saying the fight was done. Ryan Garcia is saying he wants it. But meanwhile, Ryan Garcia is throwing punches with Tekashi 6ix9ine, and we haven't heard no announcement from Golden Boy or Ryan Garcia about it, or flyer. We haven't seen no official announcement for Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell. So my fear for Golden Boy is this: you might not have no fights while this is going on, because I think the Golden Boy fights on DAZN were just secondary to what Canelo was doing. The real money that DAZN was willing to pay was because they thought Canelo was, quote unquote, the Mexican Floyd Mayweather. So that's what they really wanted. The Golden Boy deal was just, a casualty of what it took, to get Canelo. So they just gave them some dates and a little bit of money to play with. But now that the big kahuna, the cash cow in that situation, Canelo, is kaput and he's out of commission, at least with DAZN, that might freeze up all their dates, because does DAZN want to reschedule Jorge Linares and Javier Fortuna, fights like that got canceled? Are they going to put Marlon Esparza or another Virgil Ortiz fight or Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell? Are they really going to be worried about making smaller fights like that in America when they're being sued for almost $300 million by their biggest star that they have on DAZN, Canelo Alvarez? This is nasty, man. This is nasty, but I can't say I didn't warn you. You can't say I didn't warn you. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'll be breaking this down piece by piece, but trouble in paradise for sure. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more sports. Get unlimited access to premium content with an ESPN Plus subscription. ESPN Plus offers a variety of content, including specials, behind the scenes, docuseries like Bruce Lee's Be Water, and much more. With an ESPN Plus subscription, you get access to a ton of classic archive fights and replays from boxing and the UFC. Big names like, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Come and watch my fight." Floyd Mayweather, "Easy work. I'm rich." And Manny Pacquiao, "Yes, it's up to my promoter." Just to name a few. If that's not enough, you could get the ESPN bundle, which includes ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All 3 apps, one low price. You don't want to miss out. Make sure you guys click that link in the description box of all of my videos. Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.